Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Eimear McKeown. Today's top stories. Cleaning staff at University Hospital Waterford have taken to the picket lines. Waterford Council's requested further information from Falcon Real Estate on their planning application for the North Quays development. A hotel in Tenerife is on lockdown after a guest tested positive for coronavirus. And in sport, a 10-man Waterford FC suffered their second home defeat of the new campaign last night. Momentum Support is appealing to cleaning staff at University Hospital Waterford to postpone their industrial action and to engage in talks at the Workplace Relations Commission tomorrow. Around 125 members of the Unite Trade Union are striking in a row over changes to their working conditions without consultation. Momentum Support took over the cleaning contract at the hospital from ISS last September. In a statement, the company says they remain totally committed to an early resolution and will therefore continue to work closely with relevant parties to conclude negotiations. They say a contingency plan is in place to ensure any potential disruption to the delivery of daily services will be minimised. This worker has rejected the call from Momentum to postpone the action until talks tomorrow. She says any agreement reached will have to be in writing before they accept it.
They were all in the office and they wouldn't meet with our reps. What are you meant to do? You're left with no option but to come out. We don't want to be out. I don't want to be out here not earning money, leaving people to suffer in the hospital. That's not what we're about. We don't want the hospital to be suffering. And they're going to implement from tomorrow at the meeting. It has to be put in writing before we're coming off the gate.
Meanwhile, University Hospital Waterford has called on both sides to resolve the industrial action by engaging in talks. A spokesperson for UHW says patient care is paramount and that they will work with key stakeholders as appropriate to ensure minimal impact to patient care and ensure no unnecessary impact on other hospital services. These cleaning staff on the picket line say they've the support of the public and other employees in the hospital.
A lot of the staff inside are out with us as well in support, and people coming are bibbing the horns and giving us the thumbs up and telling us that they're behind us.
We have the technical service lads are on the team with us. We have the porters. We have the porters on the theatre staff, the laundry, and we have some of the canteen staff out. Yeah, and the physios. Some of the physios, they didn't know the strike was on. They went in and they came back out and they were on the line with us.
Waterford Council have requested further information from Falcon Real Estate on their planning application for the North Quays development. Once this additional information is submitted, the Council will assess it with a view to issuing a decision as soon as possible. The proposed development includes a hotel, retail units, cinema, office block and 298 apartments. Government funding of €12.6 million was awarded to fund infrastructure for the project last week. Director of Falcon Real Estate, Rob Cass, says this and the recent general election will result in minimal delays to the development.
All it did was a slight delay of about 3 to 6 months. And in the grander scheme of things, we look back in 10 years and go, that was nothing. We still progress. There'll be figures coming out shortly from RICON, which will say the economy is going to be growing 150% in the next 20 years. That's great for businesses because it means there's jobs coming. And that those numbers might sound big, but we've grown that without significant capital investment before. Now we're getting our fair share of capital. And we've just got to drive on now.
Leo Varadkar and Micheál Martin will meet today for exploratory talks on forming the next government. It's the first time the two leaders will have had a sit-down meeting since the general election. Our political correspondent Sean Defoe reports.
This could be the first step towards an historic grand coalition between Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, but there's a lot of water to flow under the bridge between now and then. The meeting today is one to see if there's any basis for further talks on potentially forming a government. Leo Varadkar said his party wants to head towards opposition, but his votes may well be needed, and he will listen to Micheál Martin today. Varadkar is likely to try and extract a high price for any coalition deal, including the idea of a rotating Taoiseach and parity in the number of cabinet seats. Certainly equality in any arrangement is what Varadkar wants to see to bring something potentially workable back to his parliamentary party meeting tomorrow. Elsewhere, Sinn Féin are meeting the Greens for a second day of substantive talks on a number of policy areas before meeting other parties later in the week. It's on the back of Mayor Lou McDonald's monster rally in Cork last night. A second is planned for Dublin later as Sinn Féin tries to ramp up pressure on the other parties to support her bid to form a left-wing government. Sean Defoe, Leinster House.
A hotel in Tenerife has been placed on lockdown after an Italian doctor who visited the building tested positive for the coronavirus. 1,000 guests staying at the H10 Costa Adihea Palace have been told to stay in their rooms. The Department of Foreign Affairs says it's monitoring the situation closely, but did not confirm whether it's aware of any Irish people staying at the resort. Ireland's National Public Health Emergency Team will meet this afternoon to advance preparations for a case being confirmed in Ireland. Consultant in infectious diseases, Professor Karina Butler, says containment efforts have been effective.
It may happen that we will get a case or two. It's important to remember we have had no cases and that containment has been shown to be effective in many countries. For example, in Germany, it has been well contained. In the UK, where there have been cases, containment has been very effective. And we have all those procedures in place.
A woman's being held by Gardaí following the murder of a man in Kingswood in County Dublin this morning. Gardaí were called to the scene outside a house in Browns Barn Wood at around 7 a.m, where a man in his late 20s was found with stab injuries. The body of the victim has been removed from the area, which remains sealed off for a forensic examination. Gardaí say there's no known motive at this time, but a woman in her 30s has been arrested and is being detained at Clondalkin Garda Station. 3 commercial properties in Waterford are up for auction this week. They form part of the Bid X1 online auction, which goes live at 8 a.m. tomorrow. WLOR's Sinead Ahern has the details.
A city centre pharmacy investment has an asking price of €500,000. 29 Barronstrand Street, a 4-storey building, is currently let to Gallagher's Pharmacy. A unit above the Reg Bar in Waterford City is also included. Bids in excess of €170,000 will be accepted for the office accommodation, which is spread over 3 floors. The final property is 2 Sexton Street in Abbeyside, Dungarvan. The mixed-use building comprises of a ground floor retail unit with a 3-bed apartment overhead. It has an asking price of €130,000.
A number of students at Waterford College of Further Education didn't receive their SUSI maintenance grants this month. Students had been expecting their monthly allowance to hit their bank accounts last Friday, the 21st of February. A statement from the grants awarding body says WCFE didn't confirm continued attendance for a number of students, which meant the funds weren't released to the students. The college has now updated their attendance records, and SUSI has scheduled a payment for this coming Friday for those affected students. Flavins in Kilmacthomas in County Waterford are amongst the nominees at this year's Waterford Business Awards. They've been recognised for their marketing excellence, along with 2 other local businesses. Flavins oat milling and granola and flapjack plant employs 100 people and exports all over the world. Sales and Marketing Director of Flavins, John Noonan, says that marketing is an essential tool when it comes to exporting.
It is a challenge, I suppose, for any company looking to export beyond Ireland, but increasingly it's important. When we look at the range of our international markets, the UK is a very important market for us. We would be the UK's largest organic porridge product in the UK. Against the headwinds of Brexit and things like that, we also have to be looking a little bit further afield. Our markets at the moment, I suppose we extend to about 20 markets worldwide. It's all brand. We don't do any private label activity. We're delighted to see a number of those markets in fairly good growth.
WLR Sport.
With thanks to the Waterford Viking Marathon. Register now at waterfordvikingmarathon.com.
The Waterford FC manager says 3 games in 10 days is difficult. The Blues suffered their second home defeat of the new campaign last night, going down 2-0 to Shamrock Rovers. Waterford were reduced to 10 men for 75 minutes after Andre Burley was sent off for a second yellow. Alan Reynolds says it's work in progress.
3 games in 10 days or whatever has been difficult for training and preparation, but they definitely know each other now at this stage. They were better when they didn't know each other. But look, it's work in progress. You know, we've the game against St. Pat's, you know, could have went either way. We've had three difficult ties to start off with. He got 3 points, you know, probably before it started. With the way our preparation has been, probably is the best we could hope for.
Elsewhere, Chelsea hope to build a first-leg advantage when they host Bayern Munich in the last 16 of the Champions League later. It's their first meeting since the London club beat the German Giants in the final of the competition in 2012, in a game that current Chelsea manager Frank Lampard played in. Elsewhere, 5-time winners Barcelona take on Napoli in Italy. West Brom can extend their lead at the top of the Championship this evening. A victory at home to play off chasing Preston would take them 7 points clear of second place Leeds. Brentford will move up to third if they avoid defeat at bottom side Luton. The IRFU says all the upcoming Six Nations matches between Ireland and Italy next week will go ahead as planned. There had been doubts about the fixtures due to a coronavirus outbreak in Italy. Finally, Waterford Wildcats basketball player Abby Flynn is the winner of the January Park Hotel Waterford Sports Star Award. She had 2 inspirational performances as she captained the Wildcats to the Under-20 National Cup title at the National Basketball Arena. This is the 30th year of the Park Hotel Awards, and incidentally, the first award in January 1991 was also by Wildcats then, for their coach Ger Fitzpatrick.
It's great for the club and great recognition for basketball as a whole in Waterford, and just to encourage more young girls to keep going. And there's obviously a lot of young girls coming up through the club, and hopefully they'll push on the next couple of years.
Sports news on WLR is thanks to WaterfordVikingMarathon.com.
HPV